Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigvald here and welcome back to another video. So Zatanna got buffed. Not sure how many of you noticed this. Me, as the usual perceptive type that I have noticed this as soon as the update dropped. Nah bro, I would have been clueless myself, but some of you guys pointed that out, so thanks so much for that to everybody that let me know about this. So she got buffed. She got buffed significantly enough depending on the way you're using her. If you're using her to buff the League of Anarchy team, or if you're using her as a buff character in general, she's not buffed that much or not at all. But if you're using her for percentage hull damage purposes and more like a damage tier style, she did get buffed from 2 points of view. First of all, this is a passive that's going to give you percentage health damage against the opponents that are burning. And the first part is exactly the same as it used to be. It's gonna be 3% of the opponent's max health up to 30% per bell if you're using specials against burning opponents. But now if you're using specials with the Justice Dark teammates, out of which currently it's just the Elder Swamp Thing, you're going to be able to get a further 10%. But those specials are going to also have to be against burning opponents. And she has to apply the burning because Elder Swamp Thing does not have a way to apply burning. And this is not going to be something that everybody will have access to right now, because as we know, with characters that get added in the Injustice 2 mobile pass, it's going to be a while, most likely a month before Swamp Thing is going to be released to the public. First he's going to be in chests, and maybe he's going to be later introduced in challenges or arena seasons. But he shouldn't be that hard to get once they actually decide to release it and take him out of early access. So this is something that will be available to everybody. I'm not sure how this scales in terms of the star rating, so let me know if anybody has a higher star rating Zatanna. Tell me if this 3% increases or the 10% increases, or if both of them increase, because if the 10% increases, that's even better, because you're going to get even more percentage health out of the Justice Dark teammates. But this is something that virtually right now not people are gonna use, because they don't have Elder Swamp Thing, and they're not gonna have it for some time, but eventually most people who have Zatanna are gonna have Elder Swamp Thing, and eventually other Justice Dark characters. So this is 10% more percentage health damage, and it's quite a decent amount, because in a lot of fights the percentage health damage will be like 90% of the damage, and you're going to get one third of that in addition to what you're doing previously. So this is good. Now the next thing, apparently this was, I don't know if this was intended, if this was a bug, if this was intended but they changed their minds, but when they released the character, and even before release, we could see through the people who data mined the character that she had only one fast attack hit. Only one fast attack hit meant that when she would hit a fast attack hit with your fast actions that you put on her, you can see that right now I have 69% fast attack chance, because the perfect number obviously, but previously I didn't have any, because this number being at 1 meant that when she would hit a fast attack hit, nothing would happen. This dictates the amount of hits you're going to do when you hit a fast attack hit. Now you're going to do 2 instead of 1, previously you were going to do 1 instead of 1 if you hit a fast attack, and that was dumb. But when released, I thought that this was as to nerf them a bit and encourage the gameplay of a caster character, that you just spam abilities for the most part, and she's well suited for that, and that's kind of the gameplay that I've been using, and putting fast attack chance on her was kind of worthless. But now we actually have the ability to put some fast attack chance on her, because she has one fast attack hit added. And this is not really something that's going to be very impactful, but it's something that's going to be quite decent in some situations. For example, if you're using her as a damage dealer, and unless you have Raven Beta Club, she's not really worth doing that except for entertainment purposes, and except for the percentage health damage, but it's going to be a little something, doing a little bit more for you, okay? And fast attack chance is definitely going to be a more worthwhile stat to put on your gears than attack. And it's gonna be decent in situations where, let's say, you're using her for percentage health damage, and then you want to transition her when she's done with that into a combo builder for something else. Let's say you pair her up with Silver Bench, or I don't know. But yeah, those are the changes. And did she is this buff so significant that it would kind of change where she would stand in the ranking of all the characters in Just Well, no. If you ask me, she's kind of in the same place that she used to be. At the very least, I'm not gonna keep in mind now all the characters, because that's an argument for another day to be made between her, Batman Ninja Team, and League of Anarchy team. But as far as legendary characters go, she's still on the third place of best legendary character, first being Raven, second being Deathstroke, and she occupying the third place. It was kind of a tie between her and Ben Laughs. Like, Ben Laughs is a little bit better for the pay-to-win side of things if you have Beta Club and high star rating Batwoman the Drowned, while she was better for the free-to-play side of things because of the buffing purposes, but now she's also got more percentage hull damage, or at least will have once everybody gets Elder Swamp Thing, so that's great. Now, I did a fight with her where I used her with Brainiac and did the Fast Actions build with Dark Metal cards to see how she goes, how she plays. She plays kind of the same for the most part. Now we're just gonna get a few more hits in, but yeah, we're going to take a look at that. But again, no drastic changes, but welcome changes. Okay, so getting into the fight, we're going to be using the secondary count here, so what we have at our disposal for passive stats is gonna be 2 level 4 God Killers, and Zatanna's gonna have a level 4 Dark Metal cards with the 500% crit chance on the build. I'm using Brainiac to buff her lethal attack damage, and I'm also using Red Hood because there was kind of nothing left to use. I don't have the Elder Something on this account, I only bought the Injustice Pass on the main account, so we're testing her specifically to see if she's that much better with the fast attack chance added into the build and the 2 fast attack hits being there. And we're going to cycle between her and Brainiac, stacking lethal with Brainiac, though I'm not really solely focusing on the Brainiac lethal stacking. We're going to get Zatanna in there in the meantime, dealing some damage. And I usually use Brainiac with Collector, and the question of this team is she dealing more damage than Collector is doing. And even if that happens, I don't think I'm still gonna be using her as a damage dealer because she's so much better at buffing characters currently, but especially League of Anarchy actually. I mean, she's not buffing much except for League of Anarchy, but boy, she is really buffing the League of Anarchy. Not as much as Raven, but if Zatanna League of Anarchy is able to one-shot something, then I have Raven for free for some other fights. But yeah, this is more like for entertainment purposes to see how much has changed, if anything. The buff is gonna be so much more relevant with that additional 10% health damage if you have Elder Swamp Thing, as we will all eventually do. But for now, we're just testing the additional fast attack hit and see how fast attack chance build works. And Red Hood is not the best choice here by any means, it was just whatever was left because he's usually what's used with the Collector team. Now we're going full stacks with Brainiac, trying to get to those 10 lethal stacks. Our special one also almost messed up there and got blocked, that would have wasted a lot of time. 3 hits, also her tagging is not really fixed, so I'm not gonna risk it. And yeah, the damage on basic attack hits is fine, seems to be a little bit higher than the Collector damage on fast attack hits, mainly because of her damage buff that goes all the way up to 300%, and now she's max potential. It took us a longest time to get here, but she's max potential. And maybe I should be spamming the third special instead of the second special, but kind of the gameplay that I'm used to with Zatanna is to spam the second special until you get the third one for free, but regardless we're going to do it here. That's 3.2 mil damage on that one, not that high considering Collector is doing so much more damage. So yeah, in theory, in practice actually, because we're literally using the character, she's a little bit better with those fast attack hits. She can do a little bit more damage, but she's not gonna be a great damage dealer by herself except for the percentage health damage, and I think Collector does more than her outside of the percentage health damage. You're going to feel this buff so much more when you get that additional percentage health damage from the Elder Swamp Thing, and when we're going to maybe get more Dark Metal card, more just like dark characters and more synergy for it. For now, she's gonna be just an entertainment fight if you want to use her as the direct damage dealer, which you can do. You can get some decent results out of it, but still not her most optimal use. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and with all that being said, I'll hopefully see you on the next one. That's a 43rd special in 5.6, that's not too bad actually. But yeah, goodbye!
This is the future.